Ferris was what Ferris was going to be, that they were going to be a difficult out. And, I thought we did a lot of things in a positive manner, but not enough to be able to get a win. And so hats off to Ferris. I thought, they managed their game very well. I thought they were very committed to making sure that we didn't get a lot of second and thirds. They did a great job blocking shots and defending. I thought we possessed the puck and had opportunities. Just need to play with a little bit more poise. And then, I thought we did a pretty good job defensively. We didn't give up a lot, but we didn't give our goaltenders much run support. And so that's something that we've tried to address this week, and look forward to going to Bowling Green. Bowling Green's always a difficult place to play. You see the way that they're playing right now. A lot of confidence, scoring a lot of different ways. Power play was productive last weekend. Penalty kill was good. They're getting very good goaltending, and they're scoring in bunches. So work cut out for us. It's time for us to go on the road and try and garner some points here before Christmas.
Thanks for that. Kevin Dudley of the Mankato Free Press joins us via Zoom. Kevin, do you have a couple questions for Mike?
Yeah. So I know that, Mike, you've talked about, wanting to, learn from what happened last weekend, but, there's also the, not wanting to pound it in too hard. You don't want guys start gripping it, if you know what I mean. How do you kind of balance that, learning from it, but also at the same time, I know, as you guys like to say, flushing it and not letting it, weigh you down?
Oh, well, this game, if you can focus on your dailies and just continue to try and get better, whether, we've been in a spot where we've swept on a weekend and we've come back on that Monday and we haven't discussed it a lot because we just flushed it, moved on, and look what's in the outside the windshield in front of you, not the rear view behind you. And it's no different here. We've tried to learn when we've had successes, and we've done that. Now, not having success over the last weekend, taking for what it is. Like I said, I think we had 81 or 82 attempted shots on Friday. That's a good night's work. Now, do we need a little bit more detail? Yeah, we do. But effort and attitude wasn't something that I thought was concerning for us last weekend. And when you have that against a good team like Ferris, more often than not, you're going to be pushed. We were pushed. Then on Saturday night, I thought we did a really good job of coming out and establishing ourselves. And, puck management late in the first period with a 2-0 lead caught up with us. Turn the puck over, go back in and take a penalty in our defensive zone on that rush, and 17 minutes and change of really good hockey is evaporated, and we don't find a way to get one, and they do. There's your sweep. So hats off to Ferris for earning it. And we've addressed and talked about some things, and now we have another opportunity come Friday to go out and show ourselves.
Kevin, go ahead.
Hockey can be, it's such a weird game, with the way puck luck can go and that balance between, is it bad puck luck and maybe missing some chances to finish. 5-on-5, you talked about that, wanting to score more goals 5-on-5. What are maybe the biggest things in your mind that you can control, that you guys can do better 5-on-5 to maybe help get some more 5-on-5 goals this weekend?
Well, we've tried to just break it down a little bit and talk about some of our entries. Some of our set in the offensive zone, we're rushing some things, having a little bit better spacing offensively. Because anytime that you go to the net, you're probably bringing one with you. And if you've got three standing in front of the net, that means they've got a minimum of three, and it's tough to get pucks through. And then having probably a little bit more grit, second and thirds, not allowing yourself to be defended in that area. And then, like I said, maybe taking a log off, and if you can find somebody on a backdoor with that spacing and make the extra pass or the extra play, try and build confidence off of that. So our guys have had a good week. Their attitude's been fantastic. They've gone to work. Now we've got 1 day left in our preparation on Thursday to Thursday skate in Bowling Green, and we need that to go well so we can feel good about what's going to happen on Friday when the puck drops.
Hey, Stu, one of the pleasant surprises, I think, for a lot of people was seeing the play of Brendan Olsen along the blue line. I think he played a little bit last year as a freshman, but he was a forward, and he got inserted into the lineup along the blue line. And maybe what do you think of his performance, not having played defense at the college level before?
I think he did a pretty good job of it. He's been blessed. He can skate, right? And so he can skate out of trouble. He can break you out with his feet as well as his head. And he's a guy that I feel very comfortable putting in a position, whether it's what we would consider a swing guy, a guy that can play up front or back at the blue line. And, when we had Wheels go down with the injury and didn't want to tax our group of defensemen so much that they couldn't go out and perform the way that we needed him to. We wanted somebody to step up, and he's been practicing as a swing guy with us for primarily the majority of the season. And it's a tribute to him on just his demeanor. He comes to the rink every day. He's got a smile on his face, goes to work. He's as close to a zero maintenance guy as you can possibly have on your roster, and the guys love him. So does the staff, and I was happy to see him have some success.
Yeah, for sure. Kevin, do you have a final question for Hasty before we let him go?
Sure. This chance against Bowling Green, I know you guys play every week, and it's always exciting to play, but just looking at the conference standings, they've won 6 or 7. They're playing really good hockey. Is this an exciting opportunity coming off a disappointing weekend to play a team like this one that is rolling and playing good hockey?
At this time of the year, it always is. Bowling Green's, and you and I talked when they first came into our building not that long ago. This is a little bit of an anomaly as far as scheduling is concerned. We usually don't see the same teams as close as we're seeing Bowling Green in back-to-back series. And then you put together what our series usually is year in and year out, in the battle that it is. Add that to the standings and the points that are on the table. I just say it's an incredibly exciting opportunity for us. You're going to be going uphill a little bit because you're playing on the road. I got to believe that there's going to be a lot of people in that facility wearing, orange and brown. And so, like I said, it doesn't get any easier for us, whether it's this weekend, the following weekend with Bemidji here to close out our first half. So it's a challenge that we're looking forward to.
Final question, if you have one, Kev.
In terms of the scoring, we kind of talked about that. Goals, it seems like, can sometimes be funny and can tend to come in bunches. Do you get the sense that, maybe if you get a few, and I know what happened last Saturday, you got a few early and it you didn't score again, but do you feel like if maybe they could come in bunches, as a team and maybe for some of the individual guys?
Well, you know what? I think we've seen already in this short season up until this point, you better play for 60 or 65. Spurts doesn't quite get it done. At the end of the day, we had a really good first 17 minutes and didn't can that 20 minutes, and they were able to come back and tie it 2-2. So for us, it's building our house. The first 5 minutes is what we're concerned about right now and what's going to happen against Bowling Green. And make sure we manage the puck a little bit better and not help contribute to Bowling Green's offense, because as you're seeing, they're pretty good by themselves right now, whether it's on the power play or 5-on-5. So we need to get off to a good start, manage our game as well as we can. Hopefully our special teams can make an impact on the weekend. Our power play has been pretty good up until this point. We're going to continue to rely on that and try and supplement it with some 5-on-5 play.
Anytime you get swept, it's a tough weekend, and we have such a high standard here. Looking back on it, you look back at those games and you think you outplay them and how bad you outshoot them and things like that. But at the end of the day, you got to score more than your opponent, and that's what they did. And I think they did a really good job over there buying into blocking shots and protecting their net and keeping us out of the off the scoreboard. So when you look back at it, you want those back, and those are in the past now, and you got to learn from them. And we've done that so far this week. We've had 2 really good practices in a row, and we just got to start stringing along our dailies and making sure that we're getting better every day. And going into this weekend in a very tough building, especially what we were able to do to them at home. We know they're going to have a chip on their shoulder, so we got to be ready to go. And we know this is a huge weekend for us. In the standings for the CCHA, as we may not have got off to the best start that we wanted, but so we're really looking forward to heading down there, and we really need these 6 points here.
Thanks for that. Kevin Dudley joins us via Zoom. Kevin, you have a couple questions for Brendan?
Yeah, hey Brandon. In terms of being part of the leadership group, I'm sure you guys address what happened last weekend, but I'm just curious about the process, because I know you want to learn from getting swept, but I also don't think you want to dwell at it to the point where you might start gripping it the next weekend and it sticks with you. So how do you, as a leadership group and as a team, and I guess even also you individually if you want, how do you kind of process what happened last weekend and then move on in the right amount of time, if you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. And it really it comes down to our habits and our dailies, and you hear us talk about that so much, but when you go back and look at it and you look at practices and maybe some of the things we're doing off the ice and just little things like that, maybe we've let that slip, and we talked as a leadership group, and we own that. We understand that we may have been letting our younger guys down, and we may not have been leading them in the right direction. So we took the initiative right away, and we met up. We talked about some things, and we held a team meeting at the beginning of the week, and just kind of stating, our expectations and what it takes to be a Maverick here and what's made us successful in the past. So I think getting back to those things, and those are super important when it comes to the game and being able to, win those close games. It comes down to details. And so being able to be on top of those details and really just executing at the right times is super important. And like I said, we took the step at the beginning of the week. We had a little time off on Monday, and we used it to regroup, and we've able to string together 2 really good practices here, and with really good details. So we just want to keep pushing that in the right direction. And like I said, you learn from your past. You go back and review those games, but we got to be ready to go, and we just got to keep taking this day by day.
For anyone watching, it's clear you guys did a lot of good things last weekend. There were things there. I think the process to getting to the point where you had chances to score was good both nights for the most part. 5-on-5, I guess that's maybe been the biggest thing in this last 6 games. What do you think are the things 5-on-5 that you guys can do to maybe just finish a few more of those chances to swing some of these 1-goal games?
Yeah, and those are like the details that we're talking about. Like you look at it and you go back to the games, and you see some plays being made that shouldn't be made, or throwing pucks to the middle in dangerous areas and not getting pucks to below their net, where it's we like to call that our identity. And maybe all the way out, goalies maybe stopping pucks that they should, and then all the way from defensive zone breakdowns to forwards not back checking, and then forwards not getting up in the play and forechecking. Those little things matter and mean a lot to us, and help us be successful out on the ice. So just getting back to those things and making sure that we're getting pucks in the net. We're just playing simple hockey. We don't need to overcomplicate the game, and I think that really starts with our leadership here, and just really making sure that we get back to our basics and our ground game, and what has made us good in the past. And it's got to start with us, and we got to be leaders, and then hopefully from there on out our younger guys will follow, and we'll continue to grow from there.
Getting a chance to play BG, I know you've played them once, but you look up at the standings, and you guys haven't spent a lot of time looking up at teams in the conference standings. Is it exciting to get a chance against the team who is above you guys right now, despite the games in hand? I know this close after getting swept.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's a little bit of a humbling time for us right now, and it's really testing our perseverance as a group and how we're going to respond here. So like you said, we've never really been we've been on top for a lot, and so it's going to be a good test this weekend to see how we respond as a group, and a true character test for our team. The guys have it. I believe in those guys in that room, and we believe in our coaching staff as well to lead us in the right direction. So Yeah, it's really exciting. It's a chance to show everyone that we're not down and out here, and we're gonna prove everyone that we're still in this, and we're gonna take it all the way to the end.